So drifting around in the snow in an F-150 is a lot of fun. It's a bit awkward. However, that's not what this video is about today. This is my 2015 Ford F-150 XLT. It has a 6-speed select shift automatic transmission. Now, if you've watched any of my other What Happens If videos, you know that I've done this experiment in my Ford Fusion. However, I've never done it in my truck. So today we're going to find out what actually happens if you put the transmission of this F-150 in reverse while driving. And as a bonus, we're also going to see what happens if you put it in park while driving. So first thing on the agenda is, of course, to find a safe spot to do this experiment. We don't want a bunch of cars around because we don't really know what's going to happen. All right, so here we are. We got a straight road ahead of us. There's no cars around. And we're going to find out what happens if you put your transmission in reverse while driving, this time in a Ford F-150. When we're done with that, hopefully everything's all right. We're going to try what happens if you put your transmission in park while driving. And I always get so nervous when it comes to these experiments. You would think that maybe I get used to it, but that's not the case. And like I said, I've done this before, and I'm sure you've seen that video, and we all know what happened that time, but I don't know what's going to happen this time. Now, to properly record all this, we have obviously one camera right there. We have one here on the steering column that will monitor the speed and also what gear I'm in. Then we have one for an extra angle in the back window. So with no further ado, here we go. All right, so I'm gonna get the truck up to about 50-55 miles an hour. It's a little slippery outside here. And then we're gonna put it in reverse. All right, we got 56 miles an hour. There we go. It's just like last time. The backup camera comes on. And I'm stomping the gas pedal, nothing happens. It's like it's in neutral. We're gonna keep it in reverse and come to a complete stop. It just automatically goes into reverse. I hardly even noticed that it shifted gears once we actually got to a stop. Wow, that's weird. Huh. I thought at least that when we put it in reverse while we were driving, if nothing happened there, something would happen when we came to a complete stop while it was still in reverse and we were going forward. That's pretty impressive. This truck is, I guess, pretty dumbass proof for people like me doing stupid experiments like this. So we know what happens if you put it in reverse while driving. But what happens if you put it in park? Let's find out. Same thing here. We're gonna get up to about 50 miles an hour and then put it in park. So here we are, 50 miles an hour. Ooh. Oh, it's in neutral. So hopefully you could pick that up. We could hear a scratchy / grinding noise. Ooh. And what that is most likely the parking pawl, which is a pin that actually keeps it in park whenever you get to a standstill in the vehicle and you put it in park. And I'm just figuring, but I might be wrong on this. I'm just thinking that because this is a lot bigger vehicle than my Ford Fusion, which is a mid-size sedan, that parking pole has to be bigger. I might be wrong, but I don't know. Now let's try that again. We're gonna come up to speed, put the transmission in park while we're going forward, and then I'm gonna hit the brakes and come to a complete stop while the transmission is still in park. Yeah, that was definitely the parking pole taking a beating. I'm not doing that again. That was not a good sound. Oh, that's a sunglass. Now I'm thinking every rattly noise in the truck is because I've been an idiot. So when I did that experience in my car, I put it in park just like we did now in the F-150 while I was going forward, but I never came to a complete stop. Now the sound that I was hearing, I don't know how well the camera is going to be picking that up. That was a pretty bad grinding and scratchy noise. So yeah, I mean, I don't think anything's wrong with it, but I'm not trying this again. But that sound is just not healthy. Now one thing we could do to see that the parking pole is still in a good condition is to try to push the truck while it's in park. If the pole is broken, the truck should be able to start rolling. We're on level ground here, so from the truck just being in park, it's not really, going to start rolling to my knowledge unless we start pushing it. So let's try it. Here we go. Yeah, it seems to be in order. All right, so now we know that. Now when I do these experiments, they are out of plain stupidity and obviously a lot of curiosity. It is very interesting to find out what actually happens when you put a modern transmission in reverse and park while you're going forward. So to recap, when we put it in reverse while going forward, the backup camera came on while we were going like 50 miles an hour. I applied throttle and the engine just revved up like it was in neutral. So it's definitely dummy proof, which is a good thing, I guess, because you could do that by accident. Now, putting it in park by accident, I guess it's a little harder, but when we did that, we could hear the parking pole, which I assume it is, start grinding in the transmission. First time, I quickly just put it back in drive. Second time we did it, I came to a complete stop while the transmission was in park, and the grinding noise got louder and louder, which is obviously not a good thing whatsoever. I'm just hoping that everything is fine with my transmission. I think it is, but you never know if something appears later on. But as always, when I do these videos, I have to advise you to don't try it yourself. I've done it in a Ford Fusion and a Ford F-150. I don't know what would happen in other brands, and I don't want to be responsible for someone trying this just because they saw me do it on YouTube. So I'm telling you right now, please don't attempt to do this in your own vehicle. With that being said, I do hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hit that thumbs up button if you did, and also share this video with a friend you think would enjoy it. Until next time, bye-bye.